Modern food is sick, low in nutrients and high in toxins. So you've been thinking about growing your own food, but it's expensive, right? And it takes a lot of work. Well, since 2011, I've been teaching a method of growing food that uses less money, less labor to get better quality, higher yields, better taste, less pests and disease. I'm like Masunoubu Fukuoka, author of The One Straw Revolution. I aspire to be a do-nothing farmer. And maybe you do too. It's a lot easier than working hard. It's called natural farming, using the power of nature to grow food. And I'm talking today about a specific natural farming technology called KNF, Korean Natural Farming, developed by Master Cho Hun-kyu of South Korea. I've taught agricultural experts, experienced farmers, uneducated sustenance farmers, and complete newbies who had never seen a carrot in the ground. And so, in teaching these different types of people over the years, I've learned the best way to get you started so that you're not confused and that you're successful. I'm a Cho certified instructor, and the way that Master Cho taught was, well, it was confusing, and then there was the translation factor. So I've dedicated myself to understanding his system so that I can teach it to you, so that you won't be confused and you'll be successful. Natural farming is growing food in ways that mimic nature. If you go out in nature, nobody's fertilizing, nobody's pulling weeds, there's no pesticide programs, and yet it's beautiful and abundant. And that's what we want when we grow food. We want that same efficiency. Korean natural farming is a specific technology, a systems approach developed by Master Cho. And there are 3 actions that define his methodology, his technology. The first is soil foundation. This is done using IMO technology, indigenous microorganisms, where you take soil that's local and healthy and vibrant, you collect the soil biology as a complete ecosystem, and you amplify it so that you have massively high concentrations of that beautiful, balanced biology, full of diversity, full of stability. And one application can actually be enough to get it to work. So when you have the soil foundation, then plants can live in their natural state. This means they can use symbiotic relationships with all those microbes that you've installed, so they can get exactly what they need at exactly the right time in the perfect amount. And since there's no excesses or shortages of nutrients, your chances of having pests, disease, and problems are minimized. But your yields and tastes and quality are much better. It's a good trade-off. The second action that defines KNF is the use of biochemical signaling technology. This uses fermented plant juices, FPJs. It follows the nutritive cycle. Basically, you're giving plants what you want them to do. And the biochemistry in the plants signals through hormones and enzymes and cofactors. You don't need to know the biology because it is mind-bogglingly complex. You just need to know the patterns. And the third action that defines Korean natural farming is the integration of animals. Now, a lot of systems do this because, let's face it, there's nowhere in nature where you don't have plants, animals, and microbes. They always show up together. That's nature. So we want that in our food growing systems as well. We want the animals to recycle the organic matter. We don't want to have to bring in materials from outside, and we don't want to lose our resources through waste or runoff. We keep it on the land with the use of animals. And if you can't have big animals, you can have small animals. Worm bins, black soldier flies, they work great. So there are 7 elements, 7 core elements to KNF, and we've discussed the first 3. Those are the defining actions. The 4th core element is genetics. We want to grow plants and animals in ways that trigger the genetics so that plants and animals can reach their full genetic potential. Number 5 is minerals. Everything is homesick for the sea. Life on Earth is based on the chemistry of the ocean. All the minerals and elements found on the Earth are found in the ocean. And so, when we use seawater for mineralization, we make sure that our plants and animals have access to all the minerals found on Earth, all the elements found on Earth. Number 6 is wild aerobic fermentation. This is how we make our inputs. We make FPJs, fermented plant juice, using wild aerobic fermentation. You do it with materials on or near your property. They're quick and easy to make. Everything in KNF is edible. In fact, many of the inputs are medicinal. And number 7, we follow the patterns of nature. Rather than following a prescriptive how many pounds per acre per year for this crop based on soil tests that don't give you the whole story, we follow the patterns of nature because nobody knows nature better than nature, and she is our teacher.
So you may be thinking, that's a great list, Sherry, but what does practicing KNF really look like? You're going to install the IMO and create a soil foundation. You can do this with a single application. If you want to be more involved, you will add IMO again once or twice a year for the first 3 years, and that's all that needs to be done. I've done several videos that show how effective a single application of IMO can be. My Roselle video in particular is pretty amazing. The soil foundation will help your plants get what they need, just like in nature. So they're going to be pulling nitrogen out of the air and potassium out of the ground and giving your plants what they need. You'll have worms tilling the soil, so you're already doing less work because you have nature doing a lot of the work for you. You're going to feed your animals once a day, and you're going to mist the plants once a week. A light mist is all that's necessary. This is a good indication of how much mist the plants get. You're going to walk slowly with a light mist as you go. So you can see you're already doing a lot less work. You're already starting to be a do-nothing farmer. I don't know about you, but that's my goal.
Peace.